The fact that you desire to walk in dominion does not mean you will walk in it. The fact that you even read it in scriptures and you quote it does not mean that you will walk in dominion. How many of us have not read Mark chapter 16 and recited it? In my name you will cast out devils. The sons of Sceva tried it, it didn't work. There are processes that leads to dominion and reigning on earth. We are all benefactors of Romans chapter 5 verse 17. We that have been given the abundance of grace shall reign in life by that one man. But when you enter into that reality, you realize that we don't just start reigning. There is a process. This has been the confusion of our time, that many of us are trying to jump many processes, and then we are declaring what should be happening to us as a church, and then we look to our profile and realize that I've been serving God for many years, but I've not been able to experience this aspect. That even though the Bible has written it, it has been cataloged, but I've believed it. Yet, people of God, we've got to get ourselves busy so that God can match us to that place, that our expectations and what we have believed Him for can begin to manifest. Never joke with the presence of God. The first is something called His presence. His presence. When you do everything possible until He brings out His tangibility in reality over your life. I have seen in my Bible in John chapter 14, He said that if you will love my word and keep it, then I will visit you and my Father will visit you. I thought He said when you are saved, He is in you. But when He was breaking down the experiences, He talked of a certain moment too, that when we know how to manage our walk with Him, He Himself will come and visit. So which one is the indwelling and which one is the visitation? That was when Job began to remember. He said, I remember in the days of my youth when the secret of the Lord was upon my tabernacle. And he said, by His light I walked in darkness. The man realized that there was something he had that at that time he could not discern. But when it looks like he has missed God and challenges has come upon him and he was looking for a way around, that is why he knew the number one way is that the presence of God would tabernacle. He said that, and the secret of the Lord was upon my tabernacle, and I walked by His light in darkness. That means that if Job have to confront anything, he confronts it without turning back, because there was a light upon his life. He knew no weakness because somebody's strength was upon him. He knew no foolishness because somebody's wisdom was upon him. He knew nothing like shame because somebody's glory was upon him. Until that person shifted for just 9 months. Just when God said, I won't interfere in Job's life, for just 9 months, I won't interfere. Within 9 months, the man lost everything. That was when the man realized that the greatest asset of his life was when God was literally with him. The devil went to God and said, is it not this guy that you have built a fence around him? Whilst I am speaking now, anything in your life that has literally driven the presence of God out of your life, and now you are fighting life on your own, you are confronting situations of this life on your own, I stand in the presence of God. Let that thing be deleted out of your life, and may the presence of God have His way. I stand upon His authority. The Lord was with Joseph. Empty-handed, he entered the country and finally became the prime minister of that country. Why? Because the Lord was with him. God can be with you in this messy, crisis, and dangerous times. Anybody that tells you we are in safe moments is a liar. We are in dangerous, terrible defining moments that is in prophecy, and the only safest place that a man can find is that presence, that we will dwell in the shadow of the Almighty, so that only will our eyes will we see 1,000 fall on our left and 10,000 on our right. Then we'll begin to behold the reward of the wicked. It's not enough to be dancing in church. Who is with you? It's His presence upon your life. It's not enough to rise up and say, I'm chasing a contract. Who are you chasing that contract with? It's God with you. It's not enough to say, I'm a pastor building a church. Who is building that church with you? And the Lord working with them. I don't know what you are struggling to do on your own. I don't know what you are struggling to fight on your own. But there is a presence. I can see God departing from Adam. And Adam, with all confidence, will pick up his wife and comfort his wife. We will make it. Until they stepped out of Eden. That was when they realized that even the animals that subjected to them began to rebel, because there was no presence upon their lives. You can be comforted for a season without God, but sir, you will regret for a long time without Him. I know you have a car, but you have God in that car. You have a house, but you have God in that house. You finally got married. Is God in that marriage? You finally got a job. You have testified. Is God in it? Is God involved? Until you come to a place of desperateness and you tell the Lord that, God, I desperately need you around my life. If you don't pray this prayer from the depth of your heart, you will soon envy people for nothing. You will jealous people who God is with for nothing. If God be for you, stop counting your enemies. Check if God is there. If God is there, it doesn't matter who is after your life. God must just be in place. It doesn't matter the report you have in your hands. It doesn't matter the doctor's report. It doesn't matter the sickness in your body. If virus is there, that is fine, but God must be there first. If God is in place, we will talk about viruses later. We will talk about bacteria later. Because that God, the Bible said, fire follows him wherever he goes. There is something about that God that viruses cannot stand. Just let him be in his place.